Hello, crafty friends, and happy Tuesday. Welcome. I am so glad you're here. If this is maybe your first time joining, then I want to introduce myself really quick. I am Taylor from Tailored Expressions, and I am the owner and the creative director here, and I'm especially glad that you're joining us today because today we are celebrating our sweet 16 birthday. And Whitney's here with her excitement, and I gotta get let's get some of these balloons off of my table now. So glad you guys are here today, and obviously we wouldn't be here today without all of you. So that's an important part of starting the live today, is just to tell all of you how much we appreciate you and your support for joining us on this creative journey. We're going to talk some today about a little bit of trivia, where TE started, and it has grown beyond even my wildest dreams. I am just a crafter who loves to make pretty things, and so I am just so humbled that so many others are excited to join in this journey. So welcome again. Let me say hello to some people as you are hopping on today. Please leave a comment, even if it's your first time watching. I would love to hear from you. There will be lots of opportunities to leave comments as we talk about some trivia from the past. And if you tune in all the way to the end, or if you're not able to and you can check back later, then make sure you check out. We are doing a giveaway at the end that you won't want to miss. So, hello, good morning. Hi, Terry. Hi, Deb from Frankfurt. Pamela's here. Thank you for the birthday wishes, everyone. Hi, Cindy in New York. We have Cynthia here, Jennifer in Minnesota. Hello, Tracy, Amrita, Lauren, Jessica. Awesome. I'm so glad you guys are joining today. Keep leaving those comments. And even if you're watching on replay, you can always leave comments along with us. A lot of times I'll go back and read them even days later. So I love hearing from you guys. All right, so because it's our birthday, it is a big day at TE. We have our new release. So with our birthday, we always coordinate that with our annual birthday release. So we've got lots of fun, fresh products for you to be crafting birthdays with. And I am excited to show you. So should we get started looking at the new goodies?
Yes!
Okay, all right. Well, I am going to pop up on the screen the projects that the design team have made, and I will kind of start clearing them out of the way. We'll be talking about these, but this gives you kind of your first sneak peek look at lots of the goodies that the design team has created. And if you're familiar with Tailored Expressions, then you know we have already released the products. They launch at 9 a.m. on Tuesdays. And so you likely got our email this morning. Maybe you've been checking out social with some sneak peeks over the weekend. So now everything is available. All right, I'm almost there. Getting there. Okay. All right, well, important to talk about. Let me get my glass board situated here so it's straight for us. There we go. All right, so one of the most important things to talk about, we have an exclusive free gift with purchase for our birthday release. So as you know, we typically offer a freebie with purchases of $100 or more, and we have an epic freebie for you guys for this birthday release. It is called Icing on the Cake. It is a stamp, die, and 3D embossing folder combo. You get all three of those products. The stamp is actually a split stamp that allows you to stamp multiple colors like you see on the graphic. And then I'm going to show you how to use these a little bit later on in the live. We're going to craft these together. But before we get there, let me show you just a few samples using the icing on the cake. So this one on the right is by Jen Schultz, and the one over here is from Emily Midlowski. They both took a little bit different perspective. I love how Jen did her rainbow background, and then Emily incorporated some of our occasional critters with her birthday cake. Look at those fun details, the piping on the cake that you get from the embossing folder is super fun, and then you can get all those different colors with the split stamp. And then of course you have the die that allows you to put it over the top of whatever background you want. So here is a look at Taylor's rainbow. And I think Whitney or Charlie are going to share a graphic in the group of the different ink colors that I use to create all of these cake images. And we'll be making one a little bit later so you can get all the tips and tricks on how to line this up just perfectly. So really fun freebie with this release, and that will be available while supplies last, but I'm expecting supplies will last all the way through next week, Tuesday, when we switch over to our regular freebie. Okay, now let's get started on the new products. I want to start with our special bundle. So we have the Celebrate in Style bundle for you guys. And this one is a discounted bundle. Sometimes it's just a convenience one-click bundle, but this particular bundle is discounted. Whitney, are you able to look up the regular price for me? I see on the screen the special price is $89, and in just a second here I will let you guys know what the actual regular price is so you know what you're saving on this bundle. But we are at TE known for our quad stencils, and we were excited to bring you a new quad stencil. It looks like the regular price is $103, so you're getting a good deal when you grab this as a bundled product that includes the quad stencil and the 4 coordinating dies. So let's take a look at that. Everybody loves a good quad stencil, especially when you're creating projects that are that you want to make a lot of. And birthday cards is something that I especially make a lot of. So I'm assuming the same is true for you. That's a time when you want to especially celebrate those friends and family and all of the people you care about. So the Creating Quad stencil allows you to create 4 panels with 1 stencil. Each of the panels is a little bit different. If I turn over on the back here, you can see what each of those panels will look like when you're finished blending in your selection of colors. Then, if you choose, you can die cut. So this is our Creating Quads Celebrate in Style Tiny Treats. These cupcakes can be cut out with the cutting plate die from that panel that you stenciled. Then we also have the Creating Quads Celebrate in Style Colossal Cake. This big cake image can be cut out using the coordinating die. And then this last one is the Celebrate in Style Balloon Bash. This one is super fun and allows you to create these fun patterned tassels. And you can also kind of, if you want to, die cut one of the balloons and pop it up over the top of some of the balloons that are in the stenciled design. That's what this is for. So I'm going to show you some other cards using these, but let's take a look at some of these quad projects. I'm going to get out Susan's projects first. She blended these in a pretty combo. I think it's a one of her favorite combos. It always includes guava and confetti cake. So take a look at these pretty quad blends. She's got the balloons up here with the blended tassels with the Let's Party sentiment. We'll be talking about the sentiments here in a little bit. The sentiments are not included in the bundle because they work with so many of the things we're releasing. Here's one with the all over balloons. You have the balloons filled with confetti, and then her vellum sentiment there. She also, if you can see here, if I get it up to the light, you can see that she added the iridescent Happy Medium glitter paste over the top of the peaches and cream layer so that it has some extra sparkle. And then she continued with some really fun shaker cards. You can see this one is a shaker with our clay stars and tiny diamonds inside of the colossal cake. Using that die, she cut a die cut into the front of the card and then dropped her panel down inside. So this is kind of what you would call a recessed shaker as opposed to one that sits on top of your card. And then this one, she also created a fun shaker with the Tiny Treats panel from the quad. And again, those fun sparkly stars are in there and tiny diamonds in the shaker area. So fun. Okay, let's take a look at another one. I always love seeing lots of color combinations because you can really get tons of different looks with this same quad stencil just by switching up your colors. So this set is by Melody Rupel, and you can see she did some fun techniques here. Let's pick this apart and look at this fun tassel that you see. That's from the die set. She popped up one of the balloons with a sentiment on it, and then she created that multicolored tassel using the die set. I think that's super fun. I love how she added the glitter as kind of a detailing on the frosting. She did that on this card too. You're going to see some more of these as I introduce this number set a little bit later, but we have these frosted numbers so that you can personalize your birthday cards as well. And then another fun one here, she used that cutting plate die and then popped up those cupcakes back inside of the die cut piece. So that's fun. Let's take a look now at a couple others. We have one from Lori here. Love this fun color combination that's more pastel. We have the tassel. Again, the fun thing about these tassels is they cut all the way to the edge of the tassel, so you can actually kind of fray them out, as you can see here. And I just think that is so fun how they all fit together. I'm going to explain here, since we're looking at this tassel, so you can use this long tassel piece by itself. Let me see if I can grab, Whitney, maybe while I'm still talking, can you see if you can cut one of these tassel pieces so I can show people how that kind of connects together? All right, I'll set that aside and keep showing you guys some more samples. This one is from Amy Coling. She used the tiny treats on a mini slim card. Another fun little shaker using those clay dots inside. Looks like everybody got super creative with the shakers this time, which I think is so fun. Okay, thank you, Whit. I had one of these already cut over there from my crafting session. This is what it looks like when you cut the tassel by itself. And what I have done when I want to create a multicolored tassel, I take my die pick, and you will see there are horizontal cut lines on this tassel. Do you see those in between each of the tassels? I just take my die pick and kind of push in there and open it up just a little bit. And I go all the way down and do all of them with my die pick just to loosen the paper and allow you to do the next step that I'm going to show you a little bit easier. So these tassels then were made with a little kind of nub at the top. Words are hard, so nub is probably not the right word, but you're going to insert that, or you can, if you choose to do it this way, you can insert that into the little horizontal cut line. I have them in all the colors of the rainbow here, so you can just kind of go down the tassel to create this fun rainbow colored element. So I only did 3 of them here, but you guys hopefully understand what this is designed to do. Now, when you want to adhere this, what I have done and what has worked well is take a piece of 1/8 inch sticky tape and just run it along all of these little tabs after you finish inserting each of them. So I think that is a super fun way, and we had a couple. This is the sample that I did using my rainbow tassels that I created, and just die cut some of those balloons. We've got the sentiment set that I'll be introducing here in a minute, and a fun little party card using those tasseled balloon strings. All right, then you can see kind of another option for this. Jill Hawkins created this card, again with die cut balloons. She splattered them, and then she used just the tassels by themselves. So you don't have to do the multicolored process if you don't want to. The tassels still look great by themselves if you want to use them separately. So I think this is really fun. I can't wait to see what you guys do with all of those balloon string tassels. Okay, so that was the bundle. Again, a special price only for release week. So that special price will go away next week. once the new release happens next week. So grab your bundle at the discounted price while you can. Now would be a good time to show you guys the sentiment set that you are going to see a lot of on these projects. It works with the elements in the quad. It also works with several of the other collections that I have yet to show you. This is called Fantastic Birthday. It has some great generic, bring on the cake, it's your day, let's party, just a really nice stacked happy birthday sentiment. So there are coordinating dies for this as well. And again, it's not part of the bundle. So if you want the sentiments that you saw on all of those quad cards, then you'll add that separately. Okay, next collection. Maybe you noticed when we started the live some decor in the background. If not, you'll have to go back and look a little bit later. But one of our themes for this release was ice cream. It is not something we have done before. And so I thought it would be really fun for birthday to do an ice cream themed die set that allows you to build a lot of different types of ice cream. So we have your malt cup or your kind of tall ice cream cup. We have a waffle cone, a sugar cone, and then a dish. And then we also have a straw and a spoon and a cherry and some whipped cream on top. So you can build just about any type of ice cream you want. In addition, we have this fun embossing folder. It is called Sweet Squares, and it is designed to look like a waffle cone pattern. So many of the designers, I'll point this out when we get to looking at the cards, but many of them embossed their waffle cone with the Sweet Squares embossing folder, but it's also one that is fun and will work for lots of backgrounds. This is a 2D embossing folder and creates that fun pattern that looks like a waffle cone. And then also part of this, we have our mini strips, What's the Scoop? This is our mini strips collection, so you can cut it out with any of the mini strips dies. And it has sentiments in it that will go with all of your Scooptacular cards. So let's take a look at lots of the inspiration here. So much goodness. I love this one. This one is one Jill created. She used the Sweet Squares in the background, and she also used it on the cone. It's kind of hard to see on that dark brown cardstock color, but it looks really fun in person, and you just kind of want to touch it. And then you can see it a little bit better on this card with the lighter cardstock. See that fun waffle texture pattern on the ice cream cones? This one, I believe, is Amy Coling. Yes. Amy created this one, and she used waffle cones and then also the tall kind of malt cup on hers. Then we have Lori Craig with this mini slim, which is perfect for scoops of ice cream. Can't you just picture even a smaller cone with multiple scoops up the top of the mini slim card? I think that would be so cute. A couple of cherries and then the sentiment to go with it. Have a chill birthday with a cherry on top. We have this one from Emily Midlowski, and she grabbed a previously released foilet panel and foiled those sprinkles in gold. You can see again the waffle cone pattern on the die cut there. Then Sue here at Tailored Expressions created this fun shaped design using one of our easy edgers across the top. And then she got really creative with her ice cream cones. I love her little cherries are patterned. The ice cream is patterned. She added lots of little clay dots. And if you didn't know this, it looks like you can add white gel pen accents to the clay dots because she added little accents to all of those clay dots and also around the outside of the cone. So I think that turned out super cute too. All right, this one is Melody Rupel. One of the details I wanted to point out here was how she added glossy accents to the chocolate frosting. I think that looks so fun. It looks so real and just wet on your card. That's one of the things I like about glossy accents. It gives it that shine and kind of makes your recipient want to just touch it to see if it's wet. All right, and then we have another one. This one is also from Sue here at the office. I love how she got creative and cut out the dish from vellum and then topped it with acetate. So it has a glass-like appearance to it. And then she put the ice cream inside the dish so you can kind of see through that your dish is packed with ice cream. I think that's super clever. Again, those clay dots, I think those are going to be, are they called sprinkles, Whitney? Is that what the website calls them? Okay. Yeah. Or confetti dots? I'm not sure. But we've used them lots. All right, so that's Scooptacular. Bits and Pieces confetti dots. Thank you, Whitney. If you want to use those clay dots, that's what they're called. All right, let's take a look at another little mini collection. This is 16 candles and Iced Baby. You guys can kind of tell my age by the names of these products, or at least also the age of Erin, who comes up with a lot of the funny names for our products. But I thought 16 Candles, the movie that maybe you loved too, but I thought that was appropriate for our 16th birthday. But this is a set of frosted candles. And one of the things I wanted to point out that I think you're really going to appreciate. So there is a different frosting for every number. So there's a specific one that fits on each of the numbers. And in order to help you determine which frosting goes with each number, if you turn the die over, there are numbers. Do you see those little numbers? They're etched into the back of the metal of the die. So this one says 1, 2, 3. So that's going to help you match up the frosting with the number on, with the number of the candle. Hopefully you find that helpful as you're creating with these, but you've seen some of the design team use this, and I have some more samples to show you. The other that was sort of designed to go with this, of course these are versatile and can be used with lots of things, but we have this gigantic cake. It's called Iced Baby. And it is large enough, it is 6 inches long, so it can fit, let me turn it over here and you can see, it can fit across an entire mini slim card, which is why we made it that big. Now, if you're using it on, let's say, vertically on a mini slim, or you're using it on an A2 card, you can even just cut off the sides and use the stacks. You can use all of the stacks, only some of the stacks. There are lots of options for creating your cake. You can see a couple of the design team members created a cake that is shaped, so their actual card is shaped like a cake, which this large die set will allow you to do. And then you can personalize with those numbers. Both Jen and Amy chose to cut the numbers from glitter cardstock and create those little flames that are part of the die set as well. So when you open this up, Jen's looks like this. And then Amy's goes this direction. So you can kind of decide how you want to do it. Now you can also cut the cake apart like I mentioned. You can make one large cake and cut it into several pieces. I wanted to show you this special Sweet 16 card that Sue made, and she created the entire cake and cut it in half. So it looks like a slice of cake on the front of the card. She's got the 16 on there for our special birthday. A lot of times your 16th birthday is celebrated with shimmer and shine, lots of gold and sparkle. So that was the direction she was going with this one. Now if you open it up, you have the second half of the cake that she created and took some bites out of the cake on the inside, which I thought was really clever. She's got it on a little oval that serves as a plate for the cake. And then if you open it up, there's only a few crumbs left on the inside of this tri-fold mini slim card. And it says, "Have a fantastic birthday." Isn't that great? So fun. So clever. Okay, we are on our last mini collection. Again, these products can be purchased separately as well. I'm showing them to you as they were designed as a curated collection. And this one might just be one of my new favorite products. This is called the Fan Favorite Layering Stencil. It is a 6-layer stencil that creates those fun paper fans. Now, one of the best parts about paper fans is the fun dimension that you get from them, which when you blend this, it's gonna look very dimensional without using this next step, but this is one of my favorite things this release is our 3D embossing folder called Fan Favorite that coordinates with the stencil. So you can blend your pattern and then you can emboss it with this Fan Favorite embossing folder, and then it will pop out like in a 3D effect, and really give those that nice dimension that you are used to seeing with fun paper fans. So let's take a look at some of the design team samples here. Jen created this one. I really wish you guys were all here and you could just run your finger across this, because this dimension that you see in person is just fabulous. It really works well if you choose complementary colors. So like a light and a dark pink, and she did a light and a dark blue, and that's really gonna give it that extra dimension of the paper fan, because it's going to look almost like those down parts are shaded and the up parts are more lighted. So yes, and also thank you, Charlie, for reminding me. She said Heather's using this product for her video today. So if you want to head over and get a view on how these work together, you can check out the YouTube channel where Heather created some projects for you with instruction that way. Then let's take a look at this one. How cute is that? Is this a Lori Craig? Yes. This one again is embossed here over the top of the blend. And she's got her tasseled vellum balloon with the numbers on it. Just the perfect personalization on that one. All right, then next up, this one is Melody. Look at how different these look, just in different color combinations. You can try so many different things. I think they're all just super fun. She has little enamel dots in the centers of hers, which I think really make each of the fans pop as well. Then we've got Jill with her fun, unique color combination. I'm gonna open this one up and you guys can take a screenshot of that if you wanna create this again. Sometimes I think color combos are kind of easy to pick out, and other times when Jill uses 18 different ink colors, I can't tell what was used. Just teasing, Jill. I love your color combos. And it looks like she only used 6 inks and not 18. So I love this fun color combo, and it looks a little bit more adult than Kid Party. And if you're looking for a Kid Party vibe, then check out these bright, fun projects from Emily Midlowski. I love her color choices on this, and both of these are also embossed with the embossing folder. So such fun texture when you do that. And then last, certainly not least, this is Susan's card, and I love how she used the embossing folder by itself down here at the bottom, and then just a portion of the pattern from the stencil design up at the top. Of course, the "Have a Fantastic Birthday" is the perfect sentiment for the paper fans. Love it. So what's everybody's favorite? Did you have a favorite collection? I'm going to talk about one more of my favorites. Whenever I am asked what my favorite color is, my answer is rainbow. And so today, this is not a new product, but with many of our releases, we have been releasing ink bundles. And so with this birthday release, we thought it would be the perfect time to release Taylor's favorite rainbow. And we're calling it Taylor's current favorite rainbow because, you know, we're always introducing new colors, and I feel like I should be allowed to change my mind. Like I have with purple. I'm now a fan of purple. But here is Taylor's favorite rainbow ink bundle. It comes in both full size and in mini ink cubes, if I bring those in here. And you can choose what works best for you, but that is one of the biggest questions we get from new crafters who happen by our fan page is, where should I start with inks? What are the best rainbow colors to start with? Of course, if you're looking for a great black, I would recommend our Oreo, and then we have our Sugar Cube, which is our white pigment, but this is Taylor's favorite rainbow currently. If you're looking to get started with TE inks, that's a great way to do that. So that will be in the new category with the rest of these products, and it's an easy one-click add to your cart if that's something you're interested in. Now, for those of you who are local. Do we have any local watchers here today? I wanted to give just a quick heads up that we have a little birthday party happening today, and I want to show you what your little treat is if you come and visit us today. I put in my own candle, so that's not part of the treat, but look how adorable. It came with these little party hats in it. These are from Nothing Bundt Cakes. We're doing little mini bundt cakes as a birthday party celebration in the studio today. So if you're able to get in and join us, come enjoy a little bundt cake, and I will be there throughout the day kind of popping in to say hi and welcome everyone as well. So there is your little studio announcement. Okay, should we get crafting? Did I cover everything, Whitney?
Yes.
Okay, I think it's
crafty time.
time to start crafting. And I did it all in only 30 minutes. Okay, so let me pull out these again. This is the direction we're going, and I'm going to show you the tips and tricks for using the stamp die and 3D embossing folder combo. So this is your freebie for our birthday release. It is an amazing value. For $100, you're getting 3 amazing products that all work together and create fun, quick birthday cards for your recipients. I did want to turn this over and just mention, so when you get this is something we've included. It's something we haven't done before, but there is a QR code on the back where you can just set your phone up next to it with the photos on, and then it will pull up a link. You tap that link and it will take you to a video tutorial on how to use this. So I'm going to show you here today, but if you get this later and you think, oh, I can't find that video where Taylor did that thing, and you need a refresher, it's right there for you on the back of the packaging. So let's get started on this. So there are some specific steps to take with this particular combo product. You will find inside your package, it says alignment template, do not throw away. So there's your warning. You want to keep this template around. It is laminated, so it should last you forever, and it matches the artwork of the stamp along with the die cut line. The reason why we've included this, I think, will become clear as we go, but there are a few things about this that are different from normal stamp and die and stencil combos. So one of those is some people will ask, how come you can't stamp first and then die cut? Well, you'll see that you're not really able to see perfectly where to line up those words to die cut them with the die. And they really need to be absolutely perfect inside of that die cut, because the embossing folder adds the piping details in between the layers of the sentiment. So if you have your sentiment spaced incorrectly inside of the die, then the embossing folder will probably cover up some of the words on your cake, and nobody wants that. The other question that I get also is, how come I can't emboss this first and then die cut it? You certainly can. The one thing that happens when you emboss and then die cut is that you smush your embossing when you send it back through the die cut machine to cut it out. So I am going to show you a little bit of a reverse process, and I think it will all make sense when it comes together, but there's the explanation on how those are designed to work together and how you can get the best results. I thought it was fitting today that we actually create this teal card on the live because, you know, Taylor, teal, it's a thing around here. All right. So I am going to start with the stamp. I have that icing on the cake. I mentioned this earlier that this is a split stamp, and that means that it is cut apart into rows so that you can stamp each of those sentiments separately and use multiple different colors of ink to do so. It might have been able to be accomplished by just, you know, being careful with a mini ink cube, but I really wanted it to be simple, and so this is the way that we have designed it as a split stamp. I'm going to take and place the stamp down into my mini Misty, and just to make sure, because I'm using my mini Misty, I have less room over here to kind of make, I guess not get it perfect. So I'm just gonna loosely place this template down into my Misty, and then loosely just set that stamp over it. That's just gonna get us started. So then we're gonna pick this up, we can take this out, and now we're going to build the rest of our stamp over here. Really what that's doing is just making sure that when I go to use my template, I have plenty of space to move it around as needed. So now we're going to take the stamp and build it on the lid of the Misty, making sure that the sentiment as I go down matches up left to right. It should match up exactly, just like putting a puzzle together. Okay, so this is what it should look like on the lid of your Misty once you've gotten it down. Now I am going to take the lightest color of ink that I'll be using on this one. It is Confetti Cake, and I'm going to stamp that onto the grid paper of my Misty. I chose the lightest color because then I don't have to go back and wash my stamp in order to continue, because the rest of the colors I'm using are complementary but darker. Okay, now if you have trouble, maybe seeing is not always super easy, you might want to just stamp this twice so that you can really see those letters on the grid paper. And if it helps you to stamp it in something darker, you can do that. Just make sure you wash your stamp before you continue. Okay, here is where the template comes in. So this sentiment that you just stamped here should line up perfectly with what is printed on your panel. I'm gonna pull out my teal tape so that I can tack this template into place once I get it perfectly lined up inside of there. And one of my other suggestions for you guys, I need to tack down my grid paper so it's not shifting at all. So I'll do that. And then, all right, put that in place until I don't see any more of the stamped words. And then we're just gonna tack that template down into the Misty. It is gonna stay there now. So one of the other tips that I was just gonna say is once you get this set up, it's super easy to continue doing these. And I would suggest doing, because the setup does take a little while, do more than one at a time. I did 6 in all different colors and it was super fun. Okay, so now I have this piece that's already die cut from Sugar Cube cardstock. This is the die that comes in the set that is the cake image. And I'm just gonna place that in place with a little bit of adhesive. You can wash this template because it is laminated. I wouldn't run it under water, but you can wipe it. So you can spray it and wipe it and get that adhesive off of it. And then you are going to place down your cake right inside of that black outline that we printed for you on the template. Okay, now it's time. We make sure that our stamp is completely in the right spot when it gets stamped on our cake. We are going to remove now, I think I can do 2 layers at one time, so I'm gonna remove layer 2 and layer 4. So Say Cake and Birthday have been removed. Now let me pull in here my color combos. So going from top to bottom, we have Confetti Cake, Cookie Monster, Blue Raspberry, and Poblano Pepper. So if this is layer 1 and 3, then my inks are Confetti Cake and Blue Raspberry. So we're gonna go ahead and get this stamped here. I wonder if I washed these. I'm gonna wash these really quick because now I'm questioning myself. Got a little bit of Stampers Spritz here. The last color I would have done was purple, and they look to have just a faint purple hue. But I did already stamp it in Confetti Cake, and it looked good, right? I'm probably just second guessing myself because I don't want to, you know, nobody likes to mess up live.
It's a happy mistake.
Yeah.
There's no mess up.
So when you're washing these on the lid of the Misty, just make sure that you're keeping them in place since we spent all that time getting them perfectly set up. Okay, so back to confetti cake. Now that I've made sure, I should make sure on this one. Did I wash this one? Okay, I feel good. I've now double checked. Okay. So going back to confetti cake, that's going to be our top one. And then we have blue raspberry, number 1 and number 3. And when I'm doing this, I usually try to set my inks out ahead of time to reduce the chances of me picking up the wrong one. I set them down in order and try to keep them in order. Okay, so we'll close that down and stamp. I'm going to do one more layer of, looks like I had a little fuzz on my H. So we'll do one more layer, confetti cake, and then the blue raspberry. Okay. Now, very, very importantly, do not remove these when you're done. You need those in order to build this back into place. So make sure that you put layer 4 and layer 2 back into the puzzle before you remove layer 1 and 3. Okay, so now 1 and 3 can come off, and we have our 2 remaining ink colors. We have Cookie Monster and then we have Poblano Pepper. And we'll stamp those. All right, there it is. That one is perfect. Now, because I want to show you guys how easy it is to do another color combination, I have one more here for you. We're going to do pink champagne, guava, fruit punch, and mulled wine. So I need to wash my stamp. Hopefully you saw here I have my little clean sweep tool, and I just spritz it with a little bit of Stamper's Spritz and then rub it over the top of the stamp. I can leave these two. Make sure you leave something on your Misty, whichever layer that you've just finished working on, just leave it there. And then I take my wipe just to get any of that kind of residue that's left over. The Stamper's Spritz cleaner is amazing, but it does have a little bit of an oily residue that you don't want to stamp on your next project. So after you wash them, just do a quick once over with the baby wipe and dry it off. Okay, now we can take this one out. It is done. And we're gonna come with our next one that I've already die cut. I'm gonna place that in place here. And then I currently have layer 2 and 4 on the Misty, so I'm going to go ahead and stamp that with guava. That's layer 2, and then layer 4 is mulled wine. And we'll stamp those down. All right, so as I'm doing this, I'm going to ask my first trivia question. Ready? We tried to think of what are some fun things that people might have an answer to or want an answer to if you don't already know. So, all right, this one. is first question. What was the name of one of the first stamp sets we released? So our first release was in September 2008, and we released 3 stamp sets. 3, can you believe it? And I'm wondering if you know the name of the stamp set. Not the character in the stamp set, but the name of any of those 3 stamp sets. I have 2 of them here because I've saved them for 16 years, just because they bring back wonderful memories. I'm wondering, once I show them, you guys will have to tell me if any of you have them. I see lots of people saying the name of the character in the stamp set, which we'll talk about too. But I wonder if anybody knows the name of any of the 3 stamp sets. Jamie, if you're here today, you're not allowed to answer. All right. So I did that top layer with pink champagne, and then we did the fruit punch. And then you have another cake. Whitney, are you watching comments to see if anybody's actually getting it?
Yes.
Okay, so I am going to go ahead and place these back in there because, once again, I have taken the time to set this up today. I might as well leave it attached to my Misty. I'm going to leave the template in the bottom taped in there so that I can maybe make a few more of these cakes before I put it away. But we went ahead and did 2 of them, so you can see it's easy to keep going with multiple different color combinations. You just have to make sure that one of the pieces is still attached to your Misty at all times. Otherwise, you will have to reset up the alignment. All right, now
They want to see the cuppy.
okay, it's time. Should we just go ahead and answer it? Oh, we've got some guesses. Crafty Cuppy was not the first one. Cuppy in the kitchen. Everybody is remembering that it was Cuppy. Cuppy was actually spelled C-U-P-P-I-E. I know we got to get the name spelling right. But yes, these are a couple of the sets that were illustrated by our very first illustrator. She was the inventor of Cuppy. This is one of them. It's called Trick or Sweet, with cupcakes that are dressed up as Halloween characters. So super fun, funny. These little critters, or cupcakes I guess, needed a house to go with them. So this one doesn't actually include any Cuppy images, but this was one of our first sets as well, called Frightful Night. It has that big kind of haunted house in it. I look back at these fondly and I think, wow, how far our industry has come with the ways that we do product innovation, and I think that is super fun to think about. The other one that I don't have here with me, I'm sure it's somewhere, but it is called Sweet Celebration. So that was the 3rd set, and it was birthday themed. So those were our very first 3 stamp sets at TE in September 2008. So fun little trivia today. There's one of them. I've got a couple more for you. Okay, so let's go ahead and get the die cut machine ready to emboss these. There are some best practices when you're using 3D embossing folders. So let me pull the Big Shot into view so we can talk these over. When you are embossing with 3D embossing folders, this is only for 3D, and with the Big Shot. I'm not familiar with a lot of the machines. I don't have every machine, so yours might be different. But with the Big Shot, you need to have the embossing pad kit when you're using 3D embossing folders. And there are 2 pads in here. Of course, they are custom dyed Taylor Teal. They're 6x6, so not only will they work with this smaller size embossing folder, but they'll also work with the fan favorite embossing folder that we just released that is 6x6. Depending on the tension of your machine, you may only need one of these. I'll only be using the thicker. Hopefully you can see there's a thick on top and a thin on the bottom. Some people use both. Some people use just the thin. Some people use just the thick. I always start with just the thick, and if it feels like it's a lot of pressure going through for your machine, then you might have more tension than my machine, and you can try just the thin pad. Okay, you then need to take out the thin die adapter pad. So we're not doing any die cutting, and we're gonna put that embossing pad down in the bottom. Now, when you are embossing with 3D embossing folders, they are multiple levels of dimension built into this embossing folder. Because of that, your paper is having to stretch a little bit more to mold into all the different levels of the embossing folder. In order to help your paper do that, one of the best things to do is to moisten it just a little bit on the back. So I use a baby wipe because it's not wet, it's just damp. You just want to dampen the paper before you send it through your embossing folder. And that is true of any of the 3D embossing folders. You're always going to get a better appearance, less cracking, if you remember to do this simple step. So let's go ahead and take the teal one. Once I have moistened it and put it into the embossing folder, I'll go ahead and just show you this because I'll move pretty quickly after I add the dampening on the back. You'll just line this up inside your embossing folder, and then once it's in place, I have not found the need to tack it down at all. I just hold it with my finger until I can close it and keep it together. And then after that, you're going to put the folder on top and then one clear pad, only one. So we took out one clear pad from our normal die cutting settings. Okay, so here goes. I'm gonna take my baby wipe and just dampen the back of the paper, just kind of rub it across there. You can even tap it a little bit, but you should start to see a little bit of curling. That means that you've added enough moisture to the paper. Then we're gonna open this up just like I did a minute ago and use the front of the embossing folder to kind of position that design into place. Okay, I feel pretty good about where that's at. And then we want to go with the folded side of the embossing folder going into the rollers first, and we'll send that through. Look at that. I love it.
Woo woo!
Should we do the other one just
Yes.
because we can?
Yes.
Okay, so there's that one. Looks cute, perfect, lovely. I love the little piping detail. Okay, so I can use the same baby wipe here just to pat the back of the cardstock. You can see it's starting to curl just a little bit, so we'll stick that in and position this here. Pay attention to the outer die cut line. You can see where everything is supposed to fall, and then watch your lettering to make sure that the piping isn't overlapping with any of the lettering. And then, once you feel good about where it's at, go ahead and put it down. Folded end in first, and we'll send it through the other way. So now we have two cute little cakes. Ta-da! All right, let's go ahead and finish the card then. It's pretty simple. Looks like I've got some time still with you guys.
Are you gonna ask another question?
Yes, let's ask another question while I'm finishing this off. So next up, we have a creative team question from our current creative team. Who has been on the team the longest? Ooh.
I don't even know this.
You didn't know this?
No.
Okay, well, you will soon. So make your guesses. I guess you have to know a little bit about who is on our creative team currently. But I would love to see what everybody answers. Okay, so back to my actually, you know what? Now that people are answering, I'm thinking this is like a two-part.
Uh-huh.
'Cause there was someone who had a break and then came back, and then there was someone who's just been here the longest. So I guess the question was who's been here the longest. Okay, we'll get to that in just a second. For each of these cards, I took a couple of different background stamps, and I'm going to show you those in case there's something that you want to grab or don't already have in your collection. The one on the left features the Party Vibes background, which I stamped tone on tone. I did 3 of the cards with Party Vibes, and then I did 3 of the cards with Starfall background. So people are saying, well, you, Taylor, haha. Well, yes, that would be true, but that's not the answer I was going for. Okay, I'll go ahead and give everybody the answer before we keep going. The answer for who has consecutively been here the longest would be Jen Schultz. So it's been, I think, over 10 years that Jen has been on the design team.
Wow.
I know.
Jen, hand clap that commitment.
She has seen a lot of products. But then I was thinking, I believe Lori Craig was on our very first, I don't even know if we called it a design team at that time, but then for a while there she was not, and then now she's back.
Oh,
so
I love it.
yeah.
I love everyone.
They all do such amazing things that every time we get their projects in the mail, it's like Christmas. And there are things that, especially as, somebody who has a vision for maybe the product and the way that it's going to be used, and then the ways that they actually think to use it are so mind-blowing.
Yep.
I just love the creative process, and everybody thinks a little bit differently and has a little bit different style. So, all right. You know what? I think it was Melody too. Melody had a break, and then she came back as well. So everybody's reminding me I should have done better research, but I do know that Jen has the consecutive longest design team run. I remember Melody was on one of our first design teams as well, and we went to what was then called CHA out in California, and we brought Maddie with us, and we went out to dinner with Melody and some of the other gals who were on our team at that time, and I have pictures of us with Maddie when she was like less than 1. So fun times. Okay, let's pull this up. You guys can see the Party Vibes. That's just a fun tone-on-tone way to use this background. It can be a busier background, but when you stamp it tone-on-tone, you just get that birthday party vibe without all of the, you don't feel like you have to color it, and it's not too busy. You can put something like this big cake over the top. Now, the other thing I did on all of these projects was incorporate a frame that was a slightly darker color than the cardstock that I stamped on. In this case, I used blue raspberry was the color of this cardstock with blue raspberry ink. And then this is our A2 thin frame stacklets that's die cut from rock candy cardstock. I'm going to use the 3rd largest of the frames in this set, and I might need to grab looks like I have one little spot here that wants to hang on. So I will grab my scissors and just snip that. All right, and then this is going to get adhered right inside the edge just to kind of draw your eye to the center, add a little something extra without a ton of extra work. And we'll adhere that with some liquid glue. Speaking of industry innovation, I don't even think I had a Misty when we released those stamp sets I showed you earlier. We were doing all kinds of like fussy cutting. We certainly didn't have dies, so we were fussy cutting the images out and putting them into scenes that we were masking and blending, and there were still really creative cards, but I think the tool inventions that have since come have really made the process of stamping, opened it up and made it more fun. All right, so we've got that cake image. This is going to get popped up. Karen asked what was the name of the frames. I think the A2 thin frame stacklet, or A2 thin frame cutting plate. I'm sorry, I think I said stacklet, but it's A2 thin frame cutting plate. All right, I have another question. Anybody remember in what city was Tailored Expressions started in 2008? Anybody remember what city? I know some of you probably even knew me at that time. Maybe came to my house and did a little crafting, helped me pack orders. I do remember the first release feeling completely overwhelmed because we had a lot of orders and I was just one little person and didn't know how it was gonna all work out, but my friends came to my rescue. I paid with chicken and waffles.
Yeah.
We went to Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles afterwards. You guys got it, somewhere in Cali. That is right. I saw one correct answer pass by, and that was Pasadena. Yep, that's where it was. Look at this cute little dish. Louise down in the studio found this on one of her shopping adventures and thought it would be fun for us to use it during the live, so I put my little stars in there today. I think I have a thing for just collecting little pinch pots and little, what do you call these? Little dishes like this. I just love to find them places and collect them. Okay, we're gonna adhere this then with some tape runner, and then we'll put a few of the stars on the cake and we'll call this birthday celebration a wrap. If you have stuck around, I did promise a prize. You don't know what the prize is, but it's coming. Oh, let's grab this one. Okay. Have this again. Grab my pick and place tool. I have misplaced my belly jelly, so I have my crystal katana today. Couple of stars. So on the ones that had the falling stars, I put more stars and I put them in the background of the card. And then on these that have the party vibes in the background, I just added a few stars to the cake. So you embellish, you do you with the embellishments. All right, you guys, we made it to the end. Woo-hoo! We're gonna party a little bit longer. All right, so I wanted to give away a prize today from me to you guys, something handmade from Taylor. So we are going to choose one lucky winner to receive this set of rainbow birthday cake cards.
Pick me!
Woo! I'm gonna package it all up inside of our A2. These are our A2 clear card boxes, and they're great for packaging up a set of gift cards to give. I've got 6 envelopes in there. Hopefully I can fit all 6 cards. We will see. But I want to give these away to one lucky commenter, and I want you to answer a question in order to be entered to win. And if you are watching on replay, you can comment as well, because we will be not choosing the winner until later this week. I think we decided Friday. And Whitney, the question I was going to ask, it left my brain. Do you remember?
Ah!
I only remember the one said something. Oh, I remember now. Okay, I just had to say that I forgot, and then
We're 16. We need to get it
I
together.
I know, my brain is a lot older than 16. So sometimes it forgets things. Okay, so the question I want you to answer is, tell me about how many birthday cards you send out in a year. Just out of curiosity, I want to know. There's no right or wrong answer. How many birthday cards, just about how many birthday cards do you send out in a year? Leave a comment with that number, and I will pick one lucky winner to get this set of rainbow cards shipped to you. I would love it. All right, and Mindy is asking if the colors of the cake cards are going to be posted. Yes, Charlie put those up in the fan group, so I have a graphic created for you guys that shows all 4 of the colors that I used on each of these cards, so you can head over there and find that information. So, all right, let me come back and say
Wow, look at
farewell.
all these cards.
Yay, I love seeing. Oh, we've got like 25, 30, 70-ish. Oh, I love it. All right, again, no right or wrong answers, but I would just love to hear from all of you. So leave a comment. We'll choose that winner on Friday, and I can even announce it next week, Tuesday, so you know who the winner was. All right, I hope you guys have a wonderful week. You will be seeing Heather live this week, so make sure you mark your calendar for Thursday at 10 a.m. She's going to be crafting with more birthday goodies. And our special birthday bundle, the Celebrate in Style bundle with that special price, is only good through next week. So grab that and make sure you get your $100 freebie that we used in the live today. Again, thank you guys. I know I said this at the beginning, but thank you so much for all of your support through the 16 years of business that we have had at Tailored Expressions. It has been such a fun journey and would not be the same without all of you. So thank you. And we are just so humbled to be able to join you on your creative journey. All right, we will see you next time. Have a good one, everyone. Bye-bye.